Hello everyone, welcome back to English with Catherine. It's very nearly Christmas, it's just around the corner. It's Friday the 22nd of December and that means only 3 days till Christmas. This year it has come round so fast, I don't know if you agree, but seriously, how is it already Christmas? Anyway guys, I've got Christmas earrings on, I've got a Christmas jumper, I've got a lot to tell you about British culture and Christmas. So I'm going to talk you through everything that I do on Christmas Day with my family. I'm also going to tell you what I say or what my family says on the day. So you're going to learn daily English, which is in use today, modern daily English, the stuff that you actually really need to know. Of course, the context is Christmas in this video, but you'll get the idea. And British culture, which, as I always say, is the best way to learn a language. Combine the language and the culture together in one gift package. A gift to yourself. So honestly, what are we waiting for? Seriously, let's get started. It's Christmas morning. We draw back the curtains and it's Christmas Day. Now, in my family's household, things kick off pretty early. The whole thing kicks off, I'd say, at around 7 AM when my sister comes into my bedroom. I hear a little knock at the door. Catherine, can I come in? Yes, come in. She comes in with Alfie, our family dog, and we open our stockings. A stocking in a British household is very important. As I'm sure you know, a stocking is like a large sock, and this is supposed to be filled with gifts from Father Christmas. These days our stockings are a gift from my mum, and she still leaves the stockings up against our bedroom doors when we stay over on Christmas Eve the night before for Christmas. So when we wake up on Christmas Day, it's like we're kids again. So we open the stockings like, oh, that's lovely. Oh, she's so thoughtful. She must have got this from the local Christmas market. Oh, I told her that I wanted this. Oh, she's so good. She's bang on with what I wanted. And we usually get chocolate coins in the stocking, and so we start nibbling them. I know, chocolate for breakfast is only acceptable on Christmas Day. So after we open our stockings, we go downstairs, we thank Mum, who's already up, preparing everything for the day because she's so organised. And then we all decide to go into the main room where the Christmas tree is with all the gifts underneath, and we make a cup of tea and we go in there and we open presents. So it really is kind of the first thing we do in the day. The most important thing, right? It's one of the loveliest things, gift giving, right? It doesn't have to be a materialistic thing. It's just really nice seeing people's faces when they open the gifts. Usually we go round the family and everyone opens their gifts from everyone, and then the next person does the same, and we all watch their reactions. And Alfie the dog usually steals the wrapping paper and goes and hides it around the house. So that's usually quite amusing. And we have to say, make sure he doesn't eat it. Make sure he doesn't eat it, he's got some wrapping paper again. And then my dad usually gets his huge camera out and decides that we have to have a family picture when we've all just woken up and we're like half asleep. So we have these pictures taken every single year of us all like really tired with our gifts in our pyjamas. By the way, we're still all wearing pyjamas at this point. Really, Dad? I've just woken up and haven't even got makeup on yet. Yes, Catherine, we do this every year. It's a lovely memory. It's very sentimental. So now we move into mid-morning, okay? It's time to get changed. Now, for me and for our household, it is all about the sparkly clothes, as you can see. Let me just tell you about Christmas jumpers. They are a big deal in Britain. I'm not sure when this began. It hasn't been around for that long. I think it's really come to the UK in the last 10 years. Started in America, I think. But Christmas jumpers are really important. For example, in the office, in the final week before everyone goes home for Christmas, everyone is usually wearing Christmas jumpers, and you have to try and get one from the shop before they all run out because there's this huge rush to get them. It's actually quite funny. I managed to get mine already. I'd been eyeing this one up for ages in the shop. I really love the green colour, and I love that it's just one colour because some of them are just pretty kind of tacky. I don't want to say they're tacky, but because Christmas is tacky, but just a little bit too tacky, I think. We have an expression, OTT, which means over the top, which means too much, okay? So too tacky. It's not elegant, it's not beautiful. So we get changed into our sparkly attire, including earrings and all of the glitter and sparkle you can even imagine. And in this sparkly outfit, we walk the dog and we greet the neighbours because they're usually out walking their dogs at the same time. And this is while my mum is getting on with the lunch, so this kind of relieves her so she doesn't have to walk the dog, so we kind of do that as a favour. So usually on the dog walk, because it's cold on Christmas Day, we have to wear big coats and jackets over our sparkly outfit, and then we set off. Merry Christmas, Petunia! We know all the neighbours in the area, of course. They've been there for years, so have we. So, you know, we've started to connect. Happy Christmas, Joan! Oh, what are your plans today, Arthur? Have you got family coming round? And we have a little chit chat and small talk, and not very much though, because we've got to get back and start with the vegetables. Right, girls, if you could just chop and prepare the vegetables, I'll pour you both a little sherry. Yes, we're already drinking alcohol and it's not even 12 o'clock. Now, sherry is a really nice drink to have around Christmas time. It's very warming, and you only need to have a really little bit in a little crystal glass, and it just really warms the cockles of your soul. My sister and I, we put aprons on, we sit down, start chopping the vegetables, the Brussels sprouts, the carrots. By the way, a Christmas lunch is like so much work. There is like every vegetable you can think of. It's definitely not just your 5 a day, it's like your 20 a day. And we sip the sherry, and we also take really silly selfies with filters on and all kinds of funny things so that we can save them for that year and send them to our friends. By the way, my mum put the turkey in the oven at some point earlier in the morning. She's so organised, and because it's huge, it takes up the whole oven and usually takes like hours and hours to cook. The next part of the day involves family turning up. So the grandparents, my dad's parents, usually come at around 12, and that's my Granny Jane and my Papa. Oh, hi Granny, how are you? You look really well. Hi Papa, how are you? Would you like me to take your coat? Then we sit down for Christmas lunch with all the trimmings. Now let me explain what I mean by that. We have an entire feast of food. You cannot imagine. It's like enough food to feed a small village. And we drink a bit of red wine, but not too much, because honestly, we'll just fall asleep otherwise. After we have absolutely gorged ourselves on this lunch, by the way, we don't say really anything during the lunch because everyone's just eating. So that's why there's no like things to report on what we said. We then pull the Christmas crackers, which are very important as well. And we put the party hats on that are inside the cracker, and we tell the jokes that are inside every cracker. I don't know if you know about Christmas crackers. You pull them and they have a little joke and a hat inside. Very British. Right guys, I'll go and grab the Christmas pudding. Mum goes and gets this lovely Christmas pudding. Sometimes she makes it, sometimes she doesn't. It's quite a long process. It's basically like this like dome of fruit and alcohol, I think, all stuck together. Doesn't sound very nice. To be honest, not everyone loves this. I feel like I've learned to like it over the years. I used to hate it, and now I actually think it's really tasty. It's got this really sticky texture, and it's served with brandy butter or brandy cream, so it's just pretty divine, really. And the tradition is you pour brandy over the top of the Christmas pudding and you set fire to it. So there's this exciting moment where the whole Christmas pudding is covered with a flame, and it's like, yay, everyone cheers. After the Christmas pudding, we are absolutely stuffed and we need to go out and have a walk, because if we don't, we will just pass out. Which is okay, but we kind of want to do that later. So we go for a long walk as a family to burn off the lunch. Shall we go for a stroll, guys? Yeah? Are you in the mood for that? Yes, Mum, give me a second. And usually we greet the neighbours again, and we ask how their day is going, and we also comment on the weather. Oh, lovely day, isn't it? It's really bitterly cold, isn't it? Oh, it's really chilly. And sometimes Mum and Dad get into a pretty long chat with one of their friends, and we have to wait for them to finish. After the walk, we used to come back and watch the Queen's speech. It was like this tradition. We put it on at 3 o'clock. Sometimes it had been pre-recorded or something, or my dad had pre-recorded it, but usually we try and watch it live. And we all gather around the TV and watch and just listen. And usually she has something really, really great to take away from her speech. But of course now it's the King's speech, so we'll be watching him this year. Actually, did we also watch him last year? I've completely lost track of time. So after the Queen's speech, we're still feeling pretty full. But there's more food coming, of course. Mum makes a pot of tea and we have Christmas cake with that. Now you're probably wondering, what is the Christmas cake? Well, it's kind of similar to the Christmas pudding. It's like a traditional fruit cake, and then on the top is marzipan and then a layer of icing. I used to hate this cake because of the marzipan. I used to hate marzipan, but now I think it's quite nice and it's quite good with a cup of tea. And this is when we open our gifts from the grandparents. So they like to give us our gifts on Christmas Day itself so that they can see us opening them. Oh, Granny, thank you so much. My old slippers are really worn out, so this is perfect. After we open the gifts, it's time for games. Now, every British household is different, but I'm pretty sure we all play the ones I'm about to tell you. So there's charades, where you have to act. There's Pictionary, where you have to draw. There's also the tray game, which I embarrassingly think it might just be my family that plays this. Essentially, it's just you put some things on a tray, and they all have to study the tray and try and think of a strategy to remember every single thing on the tray. And you all have to try and remember what was on the tray. It's very amusing, you should try it. We used to play Monopoly, but my grandpa made me feel really, really bad one time. I remember I was really, really young and I just completely screwed up and lost. And he was like, oh, if you carry on like that, you're never gonna go anywhere in life. He was so mean to me. I actually have a theory about Monopoly. I think that it drives rifts between families. I do not think it's a good idea, especially at Christmas time. It's just really not my kind of game. I'd rather play the tray game. After games, we have more food. Can you believe it? We tend to have brown bread with smoked salmon for tea. This is kind of light and still feels special because it's smoked salmon. And back in the day, smoked salmon was actually really, really luxurious, and we never ever had it apart from on Christmas Day. Nowadays, it's just so cheap in the shops and you can just buy it. Yeah, that's the tradition on Christmas Day. And we also have a cheese platter. Usually some really, really nice ones that Mum has sourced from various markets in the area, like Stilton. There's a really, really strong blue one that my dad hates that I absolutely love. What is it called? Oh, Catherine, you've cut the nose off the cheese. So I didn't know this was a thing, but my dad is quite traditional, and you're not supposed to cut the cheese like that. You're supposed to do it at an angle, otherwise you cut the nose off. Who knew about that? After this, we are absolutely done with the eating. So then we go and change into our pyjamas again. It just goes right round back into a cycle to the morning again. And we watch a film. Now that we have Netflix and BBC iPlayer and everything, we are spoilt for choice. But back in the day, an old-fashioned film is playing, but a really, really good one, like The Sound of Music or My Fair Lady or The Railway Children. Oh, I love that film. Little Women. I love all these. And so we all watch it as a family. Last year, I think we watched Wallace and Gromit, an absolute classic. Also The Snowman, which I love the music from. And yeah, this is the coziest time of the whole day, where we're all just gathering around the TV, and just watching the film and just enjoying each other's company. And it's just the most amazing day of the year. So I hope you enjoyed my video about my English Christmas. I have to say, I don't think I left any of the details out. You know everything, so you're going to know exactly what I'm doing this Christmas. I hope it's put you in the festive mood. Even if you don't celebrate Christmas in your country, maybe you can just get a little bit of the sparkle from my video and just put it into your life. Have a lovely Christmas, honestly. Merry Christmas to you and all your family. I'm wishing you a magical one. Hit subscribe on my channel if you'd be so kind. It really does help to grow my channel, which is the main aim. You can also follow me on Instagram. My Instagram account is kind of about UK travel and everything UK, and also what I get up to in my everyday life. So looking forward to seeing you next Friday. Have a great Christmas. Bye.